Hey, it's baseball season. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna predict our opening day lineup. And hey, we'll see how close I am. I've been wrong before. Actually, I've been wrong many, many times. So, but this is the way I see it right now. First, let's start off with the rotation. Now, this rotation will not include Carlos Rodon because Rodon is not going to be ready before opening day. That said, I like what I'm seeing out of Fulmer. So I'm going to put him there as probably middle of the rotation. And number 3. Okay. I can see him really in the middle there. It's not a high pressure area in the rotation, and he can just kind of ease his way into it. We've seen him in the bullpen. I've seen a lot of improvement from him this spring, so that's good to see. I also, for the future, I also like Giolito. I love how he's got that fastball. I'm going to slide him in at number 4 simply because he has had limited experience. He's had some experience, but not a lot. We got him and Kopech in that trade for Chris Sale. Speaking of Kopech, I also like what I'm seeing out of him. He's working really hard this spring, which is a benefit to the Whitesox. I'd like to see Kopech in the rotation, but I don't think it's not going to happen. Kopech has already been sent down to AAA, so we won't see him for opening day. Maybe for September call-ups if there's an injury. Now it's time to get into the veterans. Now Shields. Shields is looking better. I'm still not sold on him, but I could see him breaking with Major League Camp. I wouldn't put him in at the ace. He's not ace material. And that said, I'd probably make him the number 2 man. So there you go. So far, 2, 3, and 4 are Shields, Fulmer, and Giolito. Let's see who else is still in camp. See, I haven't seen a lot out of the rest of these guys. I mean, let's see. Miguel Gonzalez. Now him, I can see being the ace of the staff. I like where they're heading with him. So I'm going to say our leadoff man is going to be Gonzalez. He was very impressive last year. We didn't have much to brag about. But usually we could count on Gonzalez to do a good job for us. Which is important. Which is important that we have a pitcher we can count on in that number 1 spot. Now, for that 5th spot, this could be interesting. I don't think Soria is going to make it. I haven't seen a lot from him, and what I have seen didn't look good. As far as the rest of that, let's see. Who's left that's had experience in the majors? As far as the starting rotation, there's nobody left, so chances are that last 5th spot is going to be an unknown. So in this case, I am going to say, I saw a lot of good things out of Farquhar in the bullpen. I could see the Sox trying to put him in the rotation at some point. So I'm going to say Farquhar for now would be that number 5. And he's been fairly dominant this spring, which is something that I like to see. Now the bullpen, that's that's kind of going to be a mixed bowl. That's not going to be able to be predicted for several weeks yet. Spring training just started, but this is how I see it right now for the rotation. I'll probably change my mind in a couple of weeks. Now for the opening day lineup. We know that Ricky Renteria likes the youth movement. I like the way it's going because we're taking it slowly. We're slowly phasing out the veterans. That way, no matter how young we get, there's always somebody that's had major league experience. Bearing that in mind, let's start at catcher. In camp we have Castillo, which I hate. He's a dirtbag. So I don't want him behind the plate. Now I'm gonna say Navarez and Smith did a very good job, both of them. But the starter is probably at this point going to be Navarez. With Smith being the backup catcher. The reason I say this is because Navarez has been around longer and has more experience. He can work with really any pitching staff you throw at him, which is very important. Now let's go to the infield. There are plenty of options for the infield. Again, Jose Abreu's a lock at first base. I've seen some improvements on the base paths and just the way he's doing his fundamentals. I like that. Tim Anderson is definitely going to stay at shortstop. Now, I like Yolmer Sanchez at second base. He's done very well offensively and he's sound defensively. So I'm going to say Sanchez is at second. I really don't see a lot of changes right now in the infield. And now for third base, that's going to be a tough one. Like I said, Davidson occupied that spot last year. But I don't know. I don't know if he'll be up for it again the second year, because the second year is usually you fall victim to the sophomore slump. Alright, I'm going to place Davidson at designated hitter, because he does have some pop to his bat, which is good. Now, bearing that, I'm going to say third base. I would probably say it's going to be, at this point, Moncada, because he's the one everybody is looking at in spring training. There's a lot of eyes on him. Which I would agree. I've seen some good things out of Moncada. I think we got a good deal for him. Now the outfield. This is going to be very complicated because there's at least 15 guys right now vying for those 3 outfield spots. I like Avisail Garcia, so I'm going to say Garcia. If he keeps his weight down and does what he did last year, he's going to break camp with the Sox. Another guy I liked last year was Delmonico, because he just go in there. He's a little bulldog. I like to see those grinders. That's something the Sox have been lacking the last few years, is good grinders. So I'm going to say Delmonico breaks camp with the Sox. Okay, and now for that last spot, that center field spot. This is really going to be interesting. Now, we have Lurie and Willie Garcia, who did good for us. We've also still got our number 1 prospect out there, Jimenez, which I see him maybe occupying one of the bench spots, because you don't want to rush him too quickly. That being said, let's see what Angle stats are this spring. Yeah, there we go. Spring training, he's had, he's had 16 at bats. He's got, he's 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 homers. He's got his average, this spring so far is 313. So Engel's got a good shot. And I like how he can make those crazy catches. Trust me, it's been a while since I've seen anybody that good at robbing home runs. Another guy the Sox are liking is Cordell, who has the same average as Engel and also has identical stats to him. So we'll see how this one plays out. Well, they're identical. Let's see what the OPS is. OPS on Engel is 1.2. So I'm going to say it's probably going to be... I'm going to say Engel's got a good chance. Yeah, here we go. Here's the difference. This spring, Cordell's on-base percentage is .476, so Engel's got a better on-base percentage. Which means, at this point, Engel's got the inside track. What do I know if it's going to stay that way? No. Another guy I enjoy that's been fun to watch is Palka. Let's see what his stats are. He has a lower average. He has a woeful average. He's 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 homer. He's got 19 at bats, but he's got a very low average. So I don't see Palka breaking with the club right now. He's got a good on-base percentage. But again, I just don't see it for him right now. Now, let's look at Leury Garcia. Now, let's see. Leury Garcia has 6 runs, 7 hits. He doesn't have any homers. He's not overly powerful. He's got an average of 280. On-base percentage is 308. That's pretty good. I like Leury Garcia's chances. Now let's take a look at Willie Garcia. I know there's so many Garcias in baseball. Now for Willie Garcia, he hasn't seen any action so far. So, I don't really know at this point if Willie Garcia is going to make it. But I'd say those are your best chances for that last outfield spot. I'm going to say, in this case, it's either going to be Engel or Jimenez. I'm going to say Engel because he's got the defensive ability. Okay. Now let's see what the bench would be. Now as far as the bench goes, let's see, 14 already. Plus you got the 6 relievers. So it's gonna have to be a 25-man roster, which means you're going to have 5 bench players. Now, in this case, I'm going to say the 5 bench players, again, are going to be Smith, because he's going to wind up backing up for Navarez, I think. Now, I like what I'm seeing out of Casey Gillespie. I could see him possibly being a dark horse and breaking with the club. He's got 3 runs, 7 hits, no homers, but it's early, and he's got a 304 average. If that keeps going up, I could see Gillespie breaking with the camp on the bench. Now, let's see, who else would be a good candidate for the bench? We have 3 more bench spots. I also, let's take a look at what Saladino's done. I finally got used to the mustache. Saladino really hasn't seen a lot of action either. He's had 19 at bats, 2 runs, 8 homers. He has a 4.21 average. That's not, that's respectable. That's pretty good, considering he's only had 2 runs scored 2 runs and had 8 hits. I could see Saladino sliding in there too. I can see that, and like I said, I know we're gonna see some new faces this year. That would take care of the infield. Now the outfield, I say, I don't think Jimenez is gonna break with camp just because they don't want to rush him, and he hasn't played at the AAA level yet. That saying, I could see that I don't see, like I said, I don't see Palka making it, or see, there's no spring stats for Willie Garcia, so I don't know if he's going to make it at this point. Like I said, for angle spot, it was a toss-up between him and Cordell. I could see if Cordell keeps going, probably making it. Remember, we got him he was on the DL when we got him. And now and you always need a couple extra, another outfielder. He would be the 4th outfielder. And as far as I told you, designated hitters, it would be Davidson. We need 1 more on the slot. And I could totally see it possibly being Lurie Garcia. Now, that's what I think is going to happen, other than the bullpen. I don't have any thoughts on the bullpen right now. But I will think about that and get back to you on another video, and another video will cover the bullpen. Call me. Hey, Dan, I was near my phone.
Really? I was listening to your 20-minute voicemail message, which is very cute, honey, but a couple things. One, you should never say your full name on a voicemail for whatever reason you're too late. You said, hi, this is Ellie Ostrowski.
Yeah, because you have to know whose voicemail you're calling. A lot of people I know have different names on them.
Okay, well, I don't think that's a good idea. You could just say, hi, it's Ellie, and everyone would know. Anybody that's calling you would know who it is, and not have the full information, because then they can use that against you.
I think you're being a little paranoid there.
No, it's just a good idea. It's just a good idea.
Anyway, what was the message?
Really long, so for people that's going to be kind of frustrating. It was very cute, but that's
I know, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on the bugs.
okay. I guess you should shorten it up a little bit. I just called you back because I was on a call with your girl. So I didn't really look at the back of those pictures, so we'll have to look at them and then decide. Now, is Mom still talking about coming down?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's gonna be here between 5 and 6. What?
Okay.
What's wrong?
Well, no, just my car's back and getting fixed. So I don't think I'm going to have it. I know Julie's got an appointment tomorrow morning, but we'll figure it out somehow.
Yeah. Alright, has Mom left yet?
No, she was actually laying down, so I don't know. We'll see what happens because I don't think she's doing too well with the fibros. So.
She said she was doing fine. She was just gonna lie down for a little bit.
Okay, well, I was busy. All I know is
Yeah, so why don't you go talk to her? I could. Mm. Yeah, I can do that. I'll bring one of them back and you can look at the backing, and I'll show you what I mean by sliding out. Exactly. I saw that right away because I tested the weight. I saw it slide out and I started to slide like, oh yeah, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work, so I took that one down and I hung up the ones I could. Alright, yeah. Just talk to mom about when she's leaving. Just, what's wrong with your car? Ah, oh. Alright. Where's Julie's appointment? Well, you might have to take her. I mean, you still got your truck. Alright, at least have mom, maybe have mom stick around long to drop you off at Jeff's, and then after she drops you off at Jeff's, and after you drop the car off, she can come over after that. Okay, but I think that's probably your easiest way to not complicate things. Alright, you're welcome. You can just go in and check on mom. She's not supposed to be here for an hour. Oh yeah. Sorry. Alright, let me do that. Bye. Okay. I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't do the. I had to pause it to walk away for a minute. So we'll go back to the bullpen. The bullpen I'm going to say is Bummer, Lopez, Jones, Fry, and Minaya. Okay, that's I already said once. I'm probably not going to say it again. Mostly on the grounds that I'm probably going to change my mind later in the in spring training. Well, bye.